Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
We're professional.
We're at Nerd Party right now, and y'all are going to hear this after, so I was about to say come down, but...
I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
This is off script.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
We're going to see how this goes. Shall we tell them our debunkle?
Let's. My laptop, which is usually used for all of our remote recordings, has literally stopped working.
And so we bring mine, obviously, for a backup. And it's got 2 hours of juice in it. And we're at a 5-hour event.
Yeah.
So we're going to...
It's 20 minutes before the 5-hour event starts.
So we're just going to baby it. That's 10 minutes. Give it 13.
As if our year didn't need any more shit. The universe is like, the season sucks.
Yeah. So we're going to punish you for having, like, stressful lives. No, you know what? Who cares? This is going to be fun no matter what we get. And, yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
So, I say let's do this. But let's talk about Nerd Party for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So we are... We're sponsors this year.
Yeah, we are.
So,
sponsors whose podcast is this?
It's not going to suck. We're going to figure out something.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So, it's going to be fine. Whatever happens, happens.
Yes.
We just have to have that attitude. There's nothing we can change about it.
Yep. It is what it is.
And it's going to be fun. Because if it dies early...
we get to go.
We get to enjoy Nerd Party. All right, we got that again going for us. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so let's say we're around Washington Food Bank. There's a chiropractor across from us. We got Legos all around us.
Yeah, there's a ton of Legos
so it
around
should
us.
be really fun.
Yeah. We've already seen author Aaron Ryan.
Again, yes, we did a episode with him, and he was here last year, so...
he didn't talk to us at Nerd Party last year.
He did not, no.
We should get him over here this year.
We should, that would be fun.
Before our laptop dies.
Yes, that would be fun. Yeah.
We're also near the food court.
Oh, yes, I'm real excited. It's like lunchtime.
I'm almost thinking we should go eat.
That sounds good.
There's no one here right now.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do that. Okay. We'll be in and out, you guys.
Yeah,
so
and
stay
we're
tuned.
going to have people talk like we did last year.
Yeah.
As long as we can.
Yes, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we're live. Well, live.
Yeah.
Live. We're recording.
You guys you guys don't have headphones. So
I know, we forgot.
Tell me, you hear me or not?
We were very professional today. We're like,
it's all good.
Man.
No, it's, when you're at an event like this and you grab what you can use and then sometimes
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, that would have been the best thing. But
right.
I see your wave.
Okay,
you're good.
So as long as
we're
you
good.
see my
yes, you're
okay,
good.
Cool. Just making sure.
So, hello, what's your name?
My name is Todd.
Hello.
I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
Hi, Alli. How
Yes.
you guys doing? So
Good.
I've never... this is just random. I walked into a street fair and then I see some podcast. And like, hey, somebody else who does a podcast.
Yeah.
Walk over. I have no idea what your podcast is about. I see it says book and movie, so I would imagine you guys kind of talk about whatever.
Yeah, we read a book and then we watch the movie and we compare the two, and it's a lot of fun.
It's honestly the most fun.
Yeah.
We love talking to other people who love doing comparisons too.
I actually kind of did that back in the 90s after seeing Jurassic Park. It's like, there's no way the book is better than that movie. And being ADHD, it took me a month and a half to read the book.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I'd read a page and a half.
Right.
Because it's a lot of techno-babble in the first half of the book. But the book was way better than the movie.
Really? Okay, we haven't done that one yet. It's on our list.
It's on our list to do.
Well, the thing is if you've seen the original 3 movies, like they take a bunch of things from the first book and do in those movies.
Oh.
So there's things in I think the second or third movie that were like at the beginning of the first book.
Whoa, interesting.
I'm like I guess they wanted to have that. They just didn't put it in the first one.
Right.
Yeah. They probably were like, let's just take this main
People
part.
said they wanted to have this scene in a movie, so we'll put it in the next one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. But you said you host a podcast.
I do. This is like my third or fourth show that I've done. I've been podcasting since 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got the podcast bug way back then. I went to Emerald City Comic Con and saw a panel about voice actors, and so I got to listen to Pinky and the Brain talking about
fun.
character creation and whatnot. And then Rob Paulson, the voice of Pinky, says, I have a podcast. If you guys want to check it out, we talk about this type of stuff. I'm like, what's a podcast? I'll look it up. I got it. At that point, Android didn't have a native app, so I had to find a third-party app. And I listened to all of his episodes, and I was like, that looks like it's a lot of fun. I can get a friend of mine to talk to me like for an hour.
Yeah.
I could absolutely do that. So that's kind of where that came from, is I was listening to, and actually I think recently he said that he was bringing it back, so we're doing something similar at least.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun. And what is the podcast called?
His podcast, at least the original one, was Talkin' Tunes, TALKIN_TOONS, with Rob Paulson. And he, along with Maurice LaMarche, Pinky and the Brain, they're both going to be at SummerCon in like a few weeks.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
I'm hoping to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
But what's your podcast?
I'm sorry, I got all, like the origin story.
Promoting his podcast.
That's
The
awesome.
origins of how Todd became a podcaster. No, my current show is called ADHP with like Paul. With Doug and Todd, and it's attention deficit hyperactive politics. Doug likes to talk about politics at length. I like pop culture.
Yeah.
Cool.
At length. But so the first half of the show, he's talking about whatever is going on in the world and politics and and then the last half is like, okay, now for the palate cleanser, what do we got going on this week, Todd? And so I'll bring up whatever nerdy thing is like my hyperfixation that week. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sounds fun. That's a good way to like, get the serious stuff, but the not so serious stuff too.
I was like, he wanted to talk about politics and what's going on. And he's like, I definitely want to tell people that I'm not interested in whatever they're doing. I don't agree with it. And I want people to know I don't agree with it. I'm like, okay, can we like have some lighthearted stuff too?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Because, I mean, doing that every week, I would probably, just be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right, exactly.
This is so depressing. But no, he always pulls out some interesting stories and at the very least stories that'll make you go, why?
Right.
But So how long have you guys been podcasting?
2022.
Yeah.
We started in 21, but we
Released episodes in 22.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's been fun.
3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But we also podcast on Spotify and then out to all the other feeds. But we also have our show on YouTube as well.
Oh, awesome.
Smart.
Very
Yeah.
good.
That's a good support.
Because because I've been doing it so long, I've acquired gear over the last decade.
Yeah.
And I have a Zoom PodTrack P8, which is like the mixer board with like 6 connections on it.
Yeah.
So what was the most recent thing you guys watched and read?
We just released Red October.
Oh, the Hunt for Red October. We're currently doing the Joy Luck Club and Tuck Everlasting.
Oh, we've done Matilda and
Tuck Everlasting, which version of that one did you guys watch?
The
2002.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They have an older one, right?
Yeah.
There's one I think from like the early 80s or late 70s. That's the one I remember seeing.
Yeah.
And it was one of those about a couple years ago. I was like, what is the name of that movie where they it was like the Fountain of Youth. The girl, instead of drinking it so she could like when she's of age for that guy, which was creepy.
I know, yes.
Absolutely it was.
She gave it to her favorite animal, which was a turtle in the version I saw.
Wow.
And I'm like, so the turtle lived forever,
Right.
And she got old, and but yeah, it was, and I did a deep dive on Google trying to find it, and finally after like think an hour of digging around,
Yeah.
I found out it was Tuck
Yeah.
Everlasting. The one I ended up finding to watch was probably that one.
Yeah.
But, I think the one I remember is I think it was like a TV movie version
Oh,
too.
okay. We
So
might
what
have to watch that.
I was going to say what we like to do is we like to do our main comparisons, and then if it's a movie that we know has multiple versions of the movie, then for a mini-sode we'll compare and be
Yeah.
like, oh, this one actually did it way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would look on IMDb. I don't remember if it was I watched it on TV, so
Yeah.
it could have been a theatrical release.
Yeah.
I don't know. We would watch a movie and then like talk about it afterwards, but never thought of like reading the book. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I enjoy it because I'm a bookworm, and so I basically already did this with my life because I also love movies. So I would read the book first, then watch the movie and be like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I can do this as a podcast. Let's go.
Honestly, I think the best route is to watch the movie first. That way, you're like, "Oh my God, this is so much better." That way, you're not disappointed about how
Yeah.
terrible the movie was.
Yes, that's true.
That's our theory. Our theory is whichever one you do first, you tend to like lean towards liking that more. And it's
yeah.
for sure true with movies. Like if you start with the book and the movie just is horrible, you hate the movie.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the worst. But if you watch the movie first, then you read the book and you're like, oh, that added more to it. But still, this movie was entertaining. I
Yes.
like this.
Yeah.
So.
Or maybe you could go even a step further and see if you can find like the comic book adaptation of a movie.
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
a good idea.
This is on our list.
Oh,
Like,
is
I
it?
plan on doing comic books in the near future. It's just getting her to read at all was
It was tough. I'm a teacher and I'm a mom and I have like 0 time on my hands, so I
Okay.
do audiobooks a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I do audiobooks just because, like I said earlier, as soon as I start reading, after about a page and a half, my eyelids start getting heavy and I start to
Yeah.
fall asleep and drop the book and all that. But so yeah, audiobooks have saved me a lot.
Yes, for sure. So, yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you for being
much.
on our episode.
Well, thank you for
Yes,
having me. It's
of
like, you know,
course.
this is the first time I've been to this event. I've been aware of it for a while because I have friends who
Yeah.
do these types of things where a buddy of mine actually has got a booth somewhere. He's selling Hot Wheels cars or something.
Oh, my
And
son
then-
would love that. Okay. Might have to go check him out.
I don't know what booth he's in, or if he's out here, or if he's over at the shop that is
Yeah,
like the
Oh,
ret-
yeah.
might be.
over at, I think it's Greg who has the retro shop.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah,
maybe
it probably is
maybe
at the
it's Craig.
Retro Emporium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you so
too.
much.
It's so fun talking to you.
Okay, you guys. The coolest thing just happened.
I about cried.
So
Allie wasn't here.
No, I was out looking for food and I come back and Bree's like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what just happened.
I literally like John sitting with me, and I was like, God, why is it John and not Allie? No offense, John.
So say what happened.
So this guy comes up to us with a bag full of freeze-dried candy and is like, hey, I'm just around the corner. I just want to let you know that I follow you guys and I love what you do. And I just wanted to come and support you. And here, have this bag of candy.
And he just gave it to us because he's a listener.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
could have cried. And then, like, we went over to see if he wanted to be on the podcast. And he was like, if you want any other candy, take it.
I know. It was so sweet. And so he runs.
Galactic Druid Treats LLC. I follow him on Instagram.
Yes.
He's great.
He's over in Federal Way area.
Which is even better.
I know, but these treats look super good.
I
Should we
know.
do like a
Yeah.
ASMR thing?
Let's do it. I'm going to open our nerd clusters because nerd clusters are my favorite.
And it's Nerd Party. I feel like that should be the first ones we eat.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
We should tell him he should, promote these like Nerd Party.
I know. Well, now he'll listen and he'll hear.
Yeah. I'm ruining the opening, but whatever. I
Did you
tried
eat
it without
that?
you.
What the heck?
Because I wasn't prepared for a kid to come up to us.
Oh my god! Like shove food in my mouth so I don't have to talk to him. Okay.
Try one of those.
Yeah. Oh, I touched that one. You won't want it.
John, you should go sit across from us and be on our podcast right now because you're going to be on this episode anyway. There's
Okay.
no one right now. John, sit ahead of us.
Almost wanted to come and sit.
Oh my gosh! All right. Ready?
Actually, no, I've seen people taking our picture because I think they want to check us out but not talk to us. I love you guys for that.
No. You didn't do the whole ASMR thing. No, it's too late. Ew, now it's gross. That was so good.
Dude, the nerd clusters are probably my favorite.
I'm gonna do gummy worms now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi. People are gonna think we're an ASMR podcast.
Or that we're selling these.
Yeah, maybe we should put them away. Give the real advertising I mean, that's what we're doing. We're advertising right now, right?
It's true. We are.
I can't open
I'm eating another nerd cluster.
I'm gonna try and open this. I would use my teeth, but John's here and he'll hate me. I can't. All right.
Here, Allie needs me to open it.
Yes.
I need John to open it. John,
Help us.
we should take a picture of this. John, who never reads books, is sitting in the corner of our booth reading a book. Standing in our corner reading a book.
Oh my gosh. Anyways. All right, you guys. We'll be back with more people.
Fun.
Yes. Well, welcome.
Hello.
What is your name?
My name is Chris. Christopher, if you're mad at me. Schutzel like pretzel.
There we go. That sounds familiar. So, we're a podcast that compares books to their movies. Do you have a favorite adaptation that you've seen before?
I like the Dune adaptations, the many Dune adaptations.
Oh.
Here comes Shia
Yeah,
LaBeouf
we
now.
gotta wait for a second.
This is our favorite part of the nerd party.
Bless the maker and his water.
Yes. Almost.
I choose you.
Yes. Wow, it's like the longest one of the day so far, of course.
Garbage train, I've been
I
told.
know, my gosh.
I feel like it's not at least honking now.
Yeah, we'll probably be able to hear you.
So, I loved the David Lynch Dune original 1989
All right.
Dune, like, recreation, because that was my first Dune recreation.
Okay.
I had read the book growing up, and I thought it was really cool. Paul Atreides is sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
He loves his dad, but he's seeking approval, and he got this dream girl that turns out is a badass warrior. And then he also marries a princess, and then it gets weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the more you read those books, the weirder they get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duncan Idaho's there off and on. Spoilers. It's a book that's been out for a really long time.
Yes.
But Duncan Idaho comes back. But also, like, later in, like, by book 13 of Dune, he's like a clone.
Oh.
Like, by, like, Chapter House Dune, he's
I
like,
didn't know
like
that.
they clone Duncan Idaho because he's just so cool, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
By about the time that his, like, son picks up, Frank Herbert's son picks up the books and starts writing them,
Yeah.
he's, like, done with Duncan Idaho. But he can't get rid of Duncan Idaho, and you can
Because
kind of
everyone
tell.
loves it.
So, yeah, no, it's fun. I did like that one, although the Duncan Idaho in the original 1989-ish, 86, Dune wasn't very cool to me.
Oh.
But now, of course, you got the guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say now he's the coolest. We actually just covered.
We just did. It
but we
just got
did
released.
The, like recent Dune adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa is cool.
He
Yeah.
is very cool.
I think what the old 1989 Dune did is because the book was written first person,
Yeah.
it had a lot of Paul's self-talk
Yeah.
as voiceover, which was really cool. So you got to, like, know what he was thinking and how he was like you get a few dream sequences in
Yeah.
this one, but like
Uh-huh.
in the 1989 one you get a lot. Also, there was a sci-fi extended version that was
Whoa.
like 6 hours long that you could only see on the Sci-Fi Channel, where they explained everything and like they talked about the Chome Company, and they talked about the guilds and the guild navigators, and they talked about the history of the Bene Gesserit. They talked about the Butlerian Jihad,
Wow.
where they killed all the AI, and so that's why nobody can use computers anymore. It's all human-computer mentats. And that one I had on like VHS. And I legitimately watched it more than I go back and watch The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
If you ever are interested in that, I don't know if it can be found. But
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, I would love that.
it's some like an old like when sci-fi first started, they released this big
Yeah.
6 hour like everything that was cut from the original movie and all this extra like exposition where they had pictures that were drawn by artists who loved Dune and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So it really got into depth, and that's what caused me to read all the rest of the books,
Yeah.
including where Paul Atreides turns into a giant worm.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
with a human face.
Oh my
I told you
gosh.
it gets weird.
Oh.
Because he's so tied to Shai Hulud, he just wanders off into the desert, and then later his like grandson like goes to talk to his grandfather in Shai Hulud in the desert. He's become the god.
Oh my gosh.
And and so a giant sandworm with Paul Atreides'
Wow.
face comes
so
out
cool.
of the desert. So
Allie's like, this is amazing.
it starts getting really weird after the first like 2 books. And,
Okay.
like, so they're gonna keep doing maybe these like Dune books, and I don't think people are prepared
Right? How weird
for
they
how
get.
weird it is. 'Cause
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Well, they had Alia like in the original movie. She wasn't just a child in the old 1986 one. She was just like she was a kid. She was like a 6-year-old, and tiny children holding knives talking about prophecy is creepy
Yeah.
AF. And I do recommend it because it is terrifying.
Oh, I bet.
It's an interesting watch.
That's
We'll have
awesome.
to do that. I hope we can find the 6
I know.
I don't think you can probably find that. Maybe
Maybe a
somebody
YouTube
somewhere.
somewhere.
But
Do you prefer the movie or the book?
Oh, good question.
actually, no, I don't. And here's why. All the context is missing about what the great houses of the Landsrod are and why they are like on the edge of war. Like there's a whole scene that I kept waiting for somebody to do where it's politics and the house leaders are in the room and they're all talking back and forth. The Duke leader is really popular and you can see why he's a danger to the Emperor because he's starting to change minds and like that's not there.
No, it's
Right.
Any
it's
adaptation, not even the old 2-hour version has that. Not even the old 6-hour version has that.
Interesting.
Wow.
So
I wonder why they cut that.
I don't know. It's too slow for the start of a story, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Actually, for a movie,
Yeah.
probably.
Everybody in the room doing politics. But there was a recent season of The Witcher where they had a whole political thing that ended in a big fight, which I thought, when I saw that, I was like, that's how you do a politics in a room scene.
Oh,
because
okay.
he was going back and forth with different characters, and different characters were like having side conversations, and you could see they were all at each other's throats and making side deals, and it was really interesting
it
and
was good.
dynamic. It's just nobody's gotten it. Nobody's figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a movie.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Anyway, that's my old man take on that.
No, I love it.
love it.
Thank you so much. Well, thanks for being on.
This was fun.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Enjoy.
Yes. Okay, you guys.
Technology's not been our friend today.
No.
Goddamn.
Okay, so at one point, we told you about how Bri's laptop didn't even work, right?
Yeah.
And then we put mine on, and it was working. And at first, it's like you have 2 hours of life, and then
Like, cool. But
Yeah.
This is gonna get us like an hour into Nerd Party.
yeah. Then it said we have 4 hours of life. Like it kept bouncing, so that it was like
It lasted
perfect.
essentially the whole time.
Yes, but at one point, I think it got too hot, and it
Probably.
it would not
That's what I
turn
was
back
thinking.
on.
Oh,
and so then when I blew on it like a N64, it turned back on. But at that point, which you're about to hear,
We then did not.
double check that the mics were still hooked up to it.
Yeah. So it recorded it as if it were just the laptop.
So it picked up everything.
I sat here, I was watching our levels and I was like, wow, we are peaking every time. And I was like, that dude's really quiet talking over there. Why is it still peaking when he's talking?
But we listened, and we can hear people. We can hear our guests.
We can hear what they're saying. It's just a bit louder.
Yeah, so that's what you're about to hear. But then we fixed it.
Yeah.
So then it'll go back to normal.
Yep.
So, but you know what? That's what happens when we're remote, have no power source,
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
headphones that we forgot.
Yeah. You know,
We probably would have avoided that if we had our headphones.
100%.
All right.
Yep.
That's all right.
Actually, no, probably not.
No, you don't
because
think
we
so?
would have heard it still in our heads.
Oh, yep, you're right.
I don't think we would have ever put 2 and 2 together that it wasn't right.
No. Oh, well, we did it. And so, yeah. So enjoy the rest of the episode. At one point, it will go back to microphones.
Yes, we
'Kay.
promise.
All right.
So what's your name?
Sam Travis.
Awesome. What brings you to the Nerd Party?
Nerd stuff. We just moved to the area and I figured I'd meet a bunch of local nerds this way.
Yeah,
and I have.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, this is a great place
This
for
is fun. Last year was our first year here, and we loved it.
Yeah, it was.
How long has it been going on?
I think
A couple.
this is like the 5th year. I think.
Yeah. So, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
So
This year I'm actually seeing way more people dressed up. I'm
Yeah.
seeing honestly way more people than last year.
Mhm.
So I think this was the year to come.
yeah, I think so.
And the guy in the Ghostbusters outfit is on point.
I know.
He's got it
Yes.
locked down. Even the lights up and makes noise.
That's amazing.
He's also got to be sweating bullets.
I know. It's so hot today. Oh my gosh.
Well, since we are a book to movie comparison, I know you don't watch many movies. Have you had any comparisons that you've liked? Like any
Oh,
adaptations? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge comics nerd.
Oh,
And
no, there you
That
go.
makes sense.
th-
Okay.
this is probably going to be not a popular opinion, but I quite like the early MCU movies.
Really?
I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you switch media forms,
Yeah.
you're going to have to do things a little differently.
Absolutely.
Right? And I thought like the Phase 1 Marvel stuff ending with like the Avengers movie
Yeah.
is a great adaptation of some of the classic Marvel heroes and classic Marvel villains.
That's good. Well,
Those are on our list
Yes.
to do, so that's good to hear.
we just went to Disneyland with my 8-year-old and 5-year-old, and so we did like movies to get them ready, and I was like, okay, well they got Avengers Land, you guys got to know some Avengers. And so when we got back, my daughter's like, can we watch them all? And I was like, yes. So we're doing Marvel Marathon every Friday, new Marvel movie in the timeline order. It's so fun. So
I have a lot of affection for the classic Marvel,
Yeah.
all the classic Marvel storylines, and a lot of them they abbreviated, like the whole Demon in the Bottle storyline, which is an ongoing Tony Stark struggle with alcoholism,
cool.
which
Oh.
played out over years, maybe decades in the comics.
wow.
It's condensed to like 20 minutes in the.
Oh, yeah.
But what can you do? You know,
Yeah.
they had to hit the note and move on. It's an important part of his character arc.
But they're also not going to spend 10
Yeah,
years
I don't
on it.
need 3 movies about Tony Stark drinking, right? So while they might not have been perfectly faithful to the original media, they were great adaptations.
Oh, good.
Unlike, for example, the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
Which were terrible.
That one was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like watching someone molesting Tolkien's corpse.
It was so bad. It was horrible.
And I'm so sad because my teacher had read it to me in 5th grade, but I didn't remember it. And then Lord of the Rings is like my favorite. We watch it every year. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I love The Hobbit. And then I watched it or read it and I was like, oh no, what did they do?
Like last year for the podcast, and she was so excited for it, and I was like,
oh.
It's strange to me how they tried so hard
Yeah.
to adapt the original Lord of the Rings movies, which is 3 books and is like 1,200 pages.
yeah.
And they did everything they could to be close to the source material, stick as
Yeah.
close to it as they could anyway, and still
And then
change the movie.
yeah.
And then The Hobbit was just awful.
Then they get this like really tiny book, and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? Split it into
3
3
movies.
movies.
If they had done one, I bet that would have been perfect. And then they just.
I feel like they could have pushed it to 2. It wouldn't have been necessary, but I feel like if they wanted to do what they were doing, get more money from it, that it could have worked. But 3, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Like, and you can tell from watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy that it was written and directed by people with a deep and abiding love
Yeah.
for the source material, and The Hobbit does not give that impression.
No.
I'm
no,
not
it's
even
so
sure if
bad.
the people who wrote and directed it have ever even seen the book.
But yeah. Or we got
Check
bookmarks
whichever you
to
would
do as well.
Where
Yeah.
are you guys on Dune?
Oh, we actually just covered Dune.
Yeah, well, thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you think?
I'm not into politics, and it was very political, but I didn't enjoy it.
I really enjoyed the book, and I liked part 1, and then part 2. So I also watched the movies before I read the book.
Okay.
So I went into it like, oh, I love the movies. The movies are so fun. I love them. Then I read the book, and I was like,
These are not the same.
yeah, I was like, hold on. Like, the first part, they, again, did pretty good, stuck to the storyline. We're like, all right, here's what it is. And then the second part, it was like, they were like, all right, we need to just change everything. Like, I don't like this book.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's my hot take on Frank Herbert.
No,
or Dune.
I think you're
Frank
right.
Herbert.
Right.
And I've never made it past the first one. I keep trying the second book, and I just fall asleep. Apparently, he was good friends with L. Ron Hubbard back in the day. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
All right.
inventor of Scientology.
Wow. All
That
right.
actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? I bet facts.
Yeah, I would say that is 100%. That is a real cat.
Have you guys done Battlefield Earth?
No.
Hubbard?
No.
No.
That's L. Ron Hubbard's book about aliens who take over the Earth, and there's a movie with John Travolta, who's a huge Scientologist.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, he had the movie made because he loved Scientology so much. He
Oh
thought
my
this
gosh.
book was going to movie was going to kill it. And the book is ass.
Oh,
And the movie is so much worse than the
no!
book.
We gotta do it. Okay. We are currently in the midst of the nerd party.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Okay.
And we're right across.
Hello.
So we're across from a chiropractor. Look at us being all nosy.
I know. And for some reason, they have this weird skateboard that's not really a skateboard.
I can't tell if it's with the chiropractor or if he's just.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was. Because he helped him set up.
It's a skateboard, but it's cut in two, and there's wheels on both sides. I don't understand. That would hurt my. I think it's a ploy to get you to hurt your back.
So then you have to get adjusted.
Joke's on them. My back's already messed up.
Oh my gosh, I swear.
Bri is legit holding a cat right now. She just shouted, "I love your cat." And she's over here holding it. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. Only at Nerd Party. Well, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah, my name's Tom.
Hello.
Tom Meany, and I'm a nerd who likes books.
That's
Hell yeah, that's us. I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
Pleasure.
And what type of books do you like?
Ideally, I think I prefer. I like fantasy. I like action. I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm actually trying to get caught up on my books because I have a bad habit where I'll buy a book and then it'll sit on my shelf, and then I'll buy another book and it'll sit on my shelf. So
You're a bookworm.
I am. Yeah, it's a problem. But I'm reading a book right now. It's clearly a younger adult novel, but it's a Superman book, and Superman's my favorite superhero.
Oh, there you go.
And they released a series of books about younger versions of the characters.
Yeah.
So like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I think there was a Catwoman one. I wasn't interested in any of them except for Superman.
Yeah.
But just because I don't want to overload with too many things.
Yeah.
I did buy my wife the Wonder Woman one because she loves Wonder Woman, and she enjoyed it, but she agreed it was definitely a younger audience. But no, it's really cool because this book is called Superman Daybreaker, and it's, even though it came out years ago, it's kind of reflective of what we're seeing in society now.
Oh, wow.
Because you have a young Clark Kent in Kansas, and migrants are disappearing.
Oh. That actually sounds really interesting.
It is, and it was a great conversation where he's on the farm with Jonathan Kent, and the two of them are talking and about this law where basically they can just take people off the streets and do that.
Wow.
And about this law.
Why is that too familiar?
Right, I know. I'm sitting there reading it like,
when was this written?
what? Yeah. So, I only just started reading it because I was just looking at my bookshelf. It's like, I need to read this book.
Yeah.
So, but it's fascinating. And it turns out the author is Matt De La Pena, Hispanic author.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure
he probably knew.
he's probably very familiar with that, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm just reading it like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this book.
Yeah.
You know? It's still not my all-time favorite Superman novel. One that I try to recommend to everybody is one called It's Superman by Tom DeHaven. Are you familiar with it?
No.
So it literally takes place in 1930s New York. He doesn't do Metropolis. He just does New York.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most historically accurate books you'll ever read.
Really?
Oh,
Even
wow.
being a Superman book, I gave a copy to my history professor because he and I were always really close. And he sent me an email when he finished it. He's like, "Oh my God."
Wow.
He
Really?
beautifully mastered interwove of actual American history, actual events that had happened, and found a way to work it into the story.
Wow. That's impressive.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's one I always recommend. You can buy it cheap in paperback now. But
Okay.
I of course I have the first printing hardcover, so
Yeah, of course.
But-
That's awesome. Well, very cool.
Do you have a favorite adaptation? Like,
movie.
yeah, book or movie. Yeah.
Or one that just drove you crazy.
Yeah.
there is one that drives me crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and not in a good way.
Which
So,
one?
Have you ever heard of the movie Vision Quest?
No.
So it's about a high school wrestler. I was a wrestler in high school. I
Okay.
coached high school wrestling.
Cool.
I'm about to get back into coaching high school
Oh,
wrestling.
awesome.
So, anything wrestling related makes me go ooh. But it's about a high school wrestler who's trying to cut like 2 weights.
Oh.
So because he wants to wrestle the undefeated state champion.
Okay.
And what the movie and the book do really well is discussing what wrestlers do when they're trying to cut weight. You know? And as someone who cut a dramatic amount of weight my senior year in high school, as a coach, I'm very protective of wrestlers who want to try to do that.
Yeah.
Because I just sit there like, look, you got to be smart about this.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's draining.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothers me most about, so the book ends ambiguously.
Oh, okay.
With him walking out on the mat he makes the weight, he walks out on the mat to wrestle this guy, and that's how it ends.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's like, does he win or doesn't he?
Yeah.
So in the movie, Matthew Modine, a very young Matthew Modine, because the movie came out in '85, is playing this wrestler, and of course he makes the weight. They need to come up with a proper ending because in the '80s everything had to be. They had to have an ending.
Tie it up with a bow. Yeah.
That's why I hate the original Children of the Corn story. Because that's why Stephen King hates that movie. You know, just because they had to give it a happy ending.
We did that one.
I'm gonna have to find that one. So they had to. So of course he ends up winning the match. He doesn't just win the match. Again, I have issues with it. He pins him. He just cut a dramatic amount of weight in a very short period of time. And he goes out and he pins this undefeated 3-time state champion. Never would happen in a million years.
No.
Especially with as weak as he would have been.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was ranked, I think, 9th in the state. I grew up in Colorado.
That's awesome.
And I was okay. The fact that I was ranked, I was like, my freshman year I was terrible. So the difference between freshman year winning one match and senior year being a top ranked wrestler, I was pretty excited. But we had our 125-pounder was ranked 3rd in the state.
Oh, wow.
And he went all 3 rounds in a match against the number 2 ranked guy.
Wow.
And he beat him. He didn't pin him. He just outlasted him because he was in better shape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Had they done that in the movie, where maybe he doesn't beat him, but they go all 3 rounds, that's more believable than somebody cutting like 30 pounds.
And then pinning the guy. Yeah.
Especially because in the movie, he lost his discipline because of a girl. Which, and there was even a point in the movie, which does happen in real life, it's very reflective, where he's thinking about quitting, giving it all up. And so she ghosts him to get him refocused. And that was actually a conversation she had with him the night he made weight to go wrestle them. She asked him, she said, did you at least make the weight? So like, it wasn't because she didn't care.
It's because she was trying to help.
Because she knew he would regret that the rest of his life. So that was actually, I forget her name. You've seen Dogma, right? Linda.
Oh.
It's gonna bother me. She was the scion in Dogma. I can never pronounce her name. It's an Italian name.
Oh. I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her last name.
It was her first movie.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's a lot of people that we see, but there's one thing in particular about that scene. I know I've been rambling a lot about it.
No, you're fine.
So when he he makes the weight, he goes to warm up, he's in a secluded area, and they call him out to the mat. When he walks out, his singlet is down at his waist. He walks onto the mat without his singlet even up, without his headgear on. Anytime you walk out on the mat to wrestle, you are ready to wrestle.
Yeah. Aren't you supposed to be
You need to be ready to wrestle. If the ref is going to blow the whistle right there, you have to be ready to wrestle. So he walks out on the mat, bare chested, his singlet's down. He doesn't even have it. He doesn't have his headgear on. So the other guy. Shocker, the 3-time state champion, he's ready to go. But Matthew Modine's guy, they're just standing there, and the ref's just sitting there waiting for him to get his crap together. That's an automatic penalty. That's a stalling penalty against you, which gives your opponent a point, and you risk getting penalized, getting your team penalized for that too. Of course, they don't do that in the movie at all.
No, it's the dramatic, like, ooh, I'm getting ready. Yeah.
So it's just my coach would have had my hide if I did something like that. But yeah, that's probably, if I had to pick a movie based on a book that I enjoy for one reason, but it makes me rage.
Yeah.
Like that's the one.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Well, and when I mentioned when I cut all that weight, I cut about 30 pounds in a month.
Wow.
It took 2 weeks before I had any strength left.
I
still have on DVD the very first match after I finally made that weight.
Wow.
Because football season ended late for us. We won state my senior year. And that's actually what my book that I'm writing is about. It's because it was literally storybook, and I don't know how long you want me to sit here and ramble.
Go for it.
But so of course when football season goes long, it cuts into wrestling season.
Yeah.
So for those of us on the football team going into wrestling, we're already a month behind.
Oh.
And I played offensive line and linebacker, so I was a big guy.
Yeah.
I needed to weigh 30 pounds less than what I did.
Oh.
And my coach, any good coach, he's understanding. He looks at me and goes, "What do you want to do this year?" So I'm going to cut to 189. And he looks at me, knowing I weigh 220.
Yeah.
He says, "Think you can do that?" I said, "Yes, coach. Give me the month of December, and I'll come in in January, and I'll be fine." And he goes, "All right, be smart about it." I said, "All right, I will." But then on top of that, I also had to convince a doctor to certify me at 189.
Wow. Oh my God.
And I had to tell him, "Look, doc, I just want to have a chance to try. If I can't make it, I won't try it." He goes, "All right, don't push yourself." I was going to push myself. That happened. My dad served in the Marine Corps. He had me in the pool every morning doing some of the hardest workouts I had ever done in my life. And I was eating next to nothing. So that first match, as happy as I was to make the weight, I knew I wasn't ready for that match, and I happened to draw the best wrestler on that team because it was a cool match. And you watch the video, I shot. It was a beautiful shot. He looped me up, spun me around, and I shot. We were watching film like the next Monday, and I just went, "Oh God." So yeah, that's what bothers me. No, but to my point, just because I'm a nerd, I was listening to a KISW, and they were talking about it was BJ Miggs before BJ left, and the topic was, "What's a point in your life that would make for a great movie?" And I thought about it. I said, "Man, it would be our football team." Because my freshman year we lost the state championship. My sophomore year we lost in the semifinals. My junior year we lost in the first round. Senior year we were on a mission. We came in. We didn't tolerate any crap from the lower grades. We wanted to make sure as a leadership group, my senior class, we were on it. Our coach didn't all they had to do was coach. But we ended up going undefeated in the regular season. And I think we outscored our opponents like 400 to something to under 9. We held our opponents under 100 points in the regular season. We blew everyone out. But the magic comes into place in the postseason. In the first round, we drew the team that beat us in the state championship my freshman year. In the second round, we drew the team that beat us in the first round my junior year.
Wow.
And then when we advanced to the state championship, because the semifinals, they were just in the way. That's exactly what our coach said. He said the only way you seniors are going to finish off what you want, you need to get past these guys. But then in the state championship, we ended up getting that last team that had beat us.
Wow.
My sophomore year.
Oh my gosh.
And so we called it the revenge tour. When all we have left is to beat, and we knew the only way we were going to get this team is in the state championship. We were on opposite ends of the bracket. But the cheerleaders put up a banner with 4 tombstones and read the revenge tour. They had that in the locker room, so that was a part of our motivation. And our coach even pointed at that one time while he was giving us his coach talk. But I was just thinking, I said, man, that would make for a great story. I just started taking notes at home, and thankfully I have a booklet because my high school's football team has been as active for as long as the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Over 100 years. The NFL's 100-year anniversary was also my high school team's anniversary.
Wow. That's cool.
And a friend of mine from high school is also a historian for that school. And so he put together like a little booklet recapping 100 years of football.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
So I have all the scores. I have the locations. I have everything like that. And all I'm doing is just changing names, changing places. I'm just writing in a combination of things that actually happened, things that I would have liked to have seen happen, and just other stuff to make for a fun story.
That's awesome. Yeah. That sounds like a really good story, actually.
I just need to sit down and write it. I have a week's vacation coming up soon, and I have the house to myself.
Even better.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for
this was so fun.
Thank you for letting me ramble.
Of course.
It's really fun.
I know. Hi. We can ask you questions, or you can ask us questions.
Yeah. Which would you prefer?
Do you wanna ask the questions?
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, mine is pink.
I like blue.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
What's your favorite TV show?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Friends.
I think Friends is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my kids and I are binging that one right now.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, Nightmare Before Christmas. I really like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's my son's favorite.
Oh yeah, that's a great
My
one. It makes
daughter
me cry.
loves that movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
every time.
And I'm like, Mom, can you stop interrupting this guy? Listen. Let's see. What's your favorite food?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go like spaghetti and pasta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at us. All right.
Italian food's my favorite too.
Yeah.
So probably spaghetti.
All right.
Mexican food and tacos.
Oh, I
Oh, those
love
are good, too.
Mexican food.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't know. Oh yeah, what's your favorite
Oh.
book?
Oh, mine's The Great Gatsby.
Oh yeah.
I said that like I had to think about it now. I love The Great Gatsby.
Yeah. Yes.
It's an older.
You'll be done in high school. We promise. I don't know. That's so hard. You think I would know?
No.
We've read so many books.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She's
I
not
think
a
it
big.
still is Harry Potter. I'm
It
gonna
is?
still go
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Okay.
I survived.
Oh,
that's really good.
One last question. Oh, what's your favorite candy?
Oh.
Okay, we just tried. This guy around the corner does freeze dried candy, and these gummy worms he made are delicious.
For me, it's the Skittles.
So
that
the
he made.
Skittles were
The
really
Skittles
good
are
too.
great.
So
But I also love any sour candy.
Yeah.
So if it's sour, it's my favorite.
yeah. I'm a chocolate girl, but yes. All right.
Okay, my
I found my new bestie.
and Skittles.
Those are the good ones.
My favorite.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Do you want to? All right.
I'll just sit down here.
Okay. Yes, that's fine.
Your favorite book?
Warrior Cats.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
I like the graphic novel that are coming out. Like I forget the people who illustrated it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are my favorite comics.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. And so we compare books to their movies. So do you guys have a favorite? Jurassic Park. Favorite movie. What's your favorite movie?
I mean, I don't really have I like a lot of them,
Uh-huh.
but I also watch Jurassic
Uh-huh.
stuff. I mean, I love the show Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And I think I really like. I haven't watched any of the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah. Those are pretty good. Have you guys read Dogman?
yeah.
Have you seen them? Not your favorite.
I'm getting over it.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. I mean, it's good to have. I've had to tell my daughter to branch out because she's reread them like 30 times. I'm like, there's other great books out there. Awesome. Did you see the movie? Did you like the movie?
We have seen the movie.
Mhm.
It was different.
It was different. Why was it different between the book and the movie?
I don't know.
Oh, it just was.
It was weirder.
It was weirder. Okay.
Really weird.
Okay. I thought it was just me. Okay.
movie we just saw. Remember that we were like, oh.
Oh, the Parent Trap.
Oh, not, yeah, not that one. Speaking of the theater, with Deep Chicken. What's the name of that?
Oh, Minecraft.
Jurassic Park. That's not similar to the book at all.
Have you read Jurassic Park book?
Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Listen to
The odd. Uh huh.
my dad.
Yeah.
And then listen to the
Yes.
That's awesome.
Watch the movie. That's cool. That's what.
We
Yeah.
haven't covered that one yet, so we didn't know it was different.
It's on our list.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. Now we're prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your favorite food?
It's like impossible.
Are you a foodie?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
lots of food.
That's good.
Like I used to really like fried chicken sandwich.
Ooh, that sounds so good right now.
I also like burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I just have a bunch of them.
That's awesome though. Hey, you know what? It's better to like a lot of stuff than be picky and not like a lot.
Yeah.
So.
You will never go hungry.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite book to movie adaptation?
Gosh. I don't even know where to go with that.
I know people ask us that question. You'd think we'd know, but
But now that we've done so many,
hard.
it's so hard. There's so many out there, and it's like, I get stuck on like, are we going with like the one that did it the best, or are we going with like the one that I just enjoyed more, or yeah. So
Yeah, gosh. Well, so do you guys have? So what's in your top
All right.
tier
So
for that?
yes, for ones that were spot on, surprisingly, Brokeback Mountain.
We did
5 Feet Apart.
Okay.
The Fault in
Our
Our
Stars was really good.
Okay.
There was another one that we just did that we were like, wow, that was spot on. Oh, Matilda. We just did Matilda.
That was a good
That's
one.
the new one, right?
We didn't do the.
Yes, we did the 90s.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen the new one?
No,
No,
the
musical
musical
The
one?
version?
No.
Is it really good? Because we were nervous. We were like, well, she was nervous.
Can I just tell you, as a child growing up in the 90s, where like all my teachers, when it was sub day, they would pull out Matilda to watch that.
Oh,
And she's my age too. She had never seen Matilda.
I've never seen Matilda. I know. So I just watched it.
But I mean, I love the original. But
Yeah.
then when we saw the musical adaptation, movie-wise, like it was. I love
Really?
it.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for that then. Yeah. Let's see. Another question.
What's your favorite book?
No.
You know, for a long time, I used to be a True Girls in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
Like Betty Smith days, right?
Yeah.
Old school. But I picked up one that was my absolute favorite. And I just pulled it out of the library. That one, I haven't reread it since I was probably a teenager.
Oh, really?
So I pulled it. I finally borrowed it from the library. The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle.
Oh, I've heard of it.
And
Me too.
in my mind, right? Like, because I'm reading it when I was like 12 or 13, I think originally. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, because she was just like, forget society and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm going to cut my hair, I'm going to be out here,
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, be a stowaway, like all these things. And I'm just like, I love her. And I think that was probably the first book I read like that, which is why it stuck with me.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm just like, that's right. Like, who cares what you're supposed to be?
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I think that's why it stuck with me. But I have it in my house, and I just borrowed it again. So we'll see. Like, it has the same feeling, but I'm like,
Yeah, I feel like I can't remember what book it was, but we covered one that I had loved reading as a kid, and then rereading it, I was like, oh, this wasn't as good this time around.
Like the Parent Trap. We were watching the Parent Trap, and my mom watched it like when she was like 5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We actually watched it again. Me, Ellie, and my mom. We watched it again a couple of days ago, and it was like the baddest.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
so here's one last question. Saying fave is kind of ridiculous because I know there's so many levels of like, well.
Yeah.
But like in terms of animated movies, like because I feel like there's such a difference now with animation and versus then. Like, I mean, but in terms of let's say animated, like what's like one that, you know, I mean, it could have been a book or maybe not even, but like just one that really hits you where you're like, oh my gosh, like, and I guess adults are making these movies, right, which is why they still resonate.
Yeah. Pretty much any Pixar movie, I feel like gets me. Like, what was the first one? Of course, I think was the Toy Story 3.
Like when they're all
No, that one got me because like I had felt like I had grown up with Buzz and Woody. So then when they're like all in that incinerator,
I think also mine is Inside Out when Bing Bong like goes, and I named my daughter Riley after that movie. So that movie I just like I cry every time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm with you on Toy Story.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I grew up with it, right?
Yeah.
It was like really that first Pixar movie for me that was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried on the fourth one.
Yeah.
When it was goodbye.
Yeah.
And now they're making a fifth one.
What I hate was like the third one ended it perfectly. I was like, why are you doing a fourth one? Then they did it. I was like, okay, but now you've really tied it up.
Because Woody's gone.
Yeah.
And now they have a fifth one. I'm like, alright.
Okay.
We're just going to keep going now.
Apparently, it's just a never ending.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
gonna be watching. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks
was
for
fun.
coming back. Yeah. We have a wonderful guest here. What is your name?
Lily.
Lily. Okay. Lily.
I've got 2 Lilies.
2 Lilies. Okay, awesome. Yes, come on up. And we're talking about how most of the time the book is better, right?
Yeah.
And so what books do you like better than the movies?
Well, I mean, Harry Potter's book is a lot better than the movie because the movie just leaves out a bunch of parts that I really like.
Oh.
And it just doesn't seem as well. Take the one with like the goblet of fire. You don't even you can't even see what's going on.
I know.
It's like
I agree. Harry Potter is my favorite books, and so I am right there with you. I've been reading them with my daughter, and we read them and then we watch them. So she hasn't seen them all yet. We've gotten through number 3. We're on number 4 right now. And she's reading all about Hermione and her elf rights and everything. And I'm like, she's not going to see that in the movies.
we read the book before the movie.
Yes, I think you got to do that.
Or in our case, we listen to the audio.
Yes, I do the audiobooks too. I love, especially Harry Potter's audiobook. Oh my gosh, he does so good, right? Yes. So, but yeah, I'm all about audiobooks.
What else? What about the Wild Robot?
Oh yeah. The book. Seriously, the movie is so lame. The book is so much better.
Really? Wow. Okay, we've had a couple other kids on here today too, and they've talked about the Wild Robot also. And so
I loved the movie. I went and saw the movie not knowing it was a book, and it made me cry as an adult.
I was like, no.
The movie is good. Like it's sad.
It is.
The book is way better.
Do you have any movies, maybe that aren't even books? Like, what's a favorite movie of yours?
Like How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh.
Me and my mom are really excited for the live action.
Yes, me too. Did you know How to Train Your Dragon is books?
Yeah.
It's like very different books, but it's like 13 or something like that. They're like a crazy amount of books, but yeah. But I'm so excited for the new one too.
You know, for me, it's weird because I don't like reading. I don't like watching a movie and then realizing it has books.
Yeah.
And then just like, okay, I know the books are gonna be way better, so I'm just not gonna read them.
I mean, I understand that mentality behind it.
Typically, that makes me go, oh, I gotta read this book to see what they did different.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
All right, guys, we've got fan favorite John, and then we've also got
Fan favorite?
yeah, fan favorite John, and then we've got one of my friends. Well, I guess she's your friend too now. Yeah. Cherry is with us. So hi, John and Cherry.
Hey.
Hello.
You don't have to say that. We're going to edit it to make that mic go up higher so we can all hear you.
It's not live.
No, it's not live. It will all be edited.
Editing it, I'll make it sound good.
So,
It's going straight to the air.
raw footage to the air straight. Yep.
Just like this. Cherry, do you have a favorite book to movie adaptation? And yes, you can absolutely take any of the stickers that you want.
I'm guessing you're the one with the teacher.
Yep, that's me.
I don't know. You know any? Well, have you guys watched the new season of Love, Death, and Robots?
No.
Yeah. Do you guys know like the premise of the whole show?
No.
I kind of do because I
It's
am
like
friends
Black
with me.
Mirror, but animated.
Yeah. Basically, the idea is that it's an anthology, so each episode is like a completely different story.
Oh.
And most episodes, it lasts between like 10 to 30 minutes, like not that long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that they were as short as 10. I thought
Yeah.
they were all like 30 to 45.
I think there's one episode that's like that short is like maybe 3 minutes.
There's some that are very short.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And for each episode, they follow a theme of either like love, death, or robots.
Yeah.
So it can be a really gory show.
Wow.
All right, we do gore.
Yeah. So, season 4 came out, and for each season, they also publish. The episodes are either based off of like a short story or made originally for the show. So for each season, they published either the original short story or the screenplay of it.
That's super cool, actually.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
That's neat.
Cool. Yeah, so it's really interesting to like compare like what changes they made and think about like was that a good change or not.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. John? Magicians.
No. Dungeon Crawler Carl.
It's not adapted yet.
It's not adapted yet, but it was picked up. It's gonna be adapted.
Yeah, but that could be like 10 years down the line.
No, it's not. It's gonna happen real soon. It's already been picked up by a production.
Just because
company.
it's picked up doesn't mean.
We did. What movie was it?
Actually,
Where
you know what?
it
I'm
got
hearing the
picked up and
rumors.
it was 10 years later.
Yeah, well,
Fucking Mickey 17 that we're about to do.
yeah, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but this has a huge and growing fan base. And you know what? I was at the bookshop earlier today, and they were telling me this stuff is selling like hotcakes right now.
Oh.
They cannot keep them in stock. I'm telling you, I'm serious.
Guys, let's count. In the last, how many episodes have we recorded? Have I said how obsessed he is with this book?
Yes, it has been multiple. Which that's awesome. I love that you have a book that you're so into. Like, more people need to.
Oh my gosh. The other day he told me that he was physically reading the second book, but he loves the audiobook so much that he then had to go.
I do that. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I'm reading ahead, but I go back and I listen to everything I've read.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's essentially
No, because no, but like I'm laughing out loud and like enjoying the audio so much because like there's things that he says in ways that I didn't read it as because he's in character more than my head can be in character generally. So like I'm like, oh wow, that's like he like enunciates words differently or like reacts, like he puts emphasis into things that I was like just read over and glanced over in ways that like I didn't expect. So it's a whole nother experience.
Yeah.
So he's putting a lot of emotions to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every character he plays is different, and he
It's actually really
definitely
fun.
reads.
You would
I
enjoy the audio.
love audiobooks. So,
This
yeah.
dude has different voices for every character.
perfect.
Okay, but I will also mention this. The first book, I was just telling Cherry here before the podcast appearance that the Sound Booth Theater is the production company. They did the first book as a full cast, cinematic, immersive experience.
Why didn't you give me that one?
And it has sound effects, music.
That's cool.
Why didn't you
I
give
didn't
me
realize
that
that
one?
until like a week ago. Not even a week ago.
But
Like,
that would be so hard.
like a few days ago.
That'd be so hard to go from that one to
the
other ones that don't do that.
That's true.
So I think I would rather
You're right.
get the regular one.
Through the regular one and then go
go
listen
back.
to that. That's
And
true.
anyone listening, you can find that on Sound Booth's app. They have
They are
new,
not a sponsor.
This is a
No, they-
shameless plug.
It is a shameless plug. They have a new developer. I was just watching a YouTube video of the CEO of Sound Booth saying this, and you know you can't buy it. Well, you can buy it outright. The first book as an audiobook, cinematic immersive experience, but they don't have the other regular audio book formats on that
Yeah.
platform. It's just that one.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it costs maybe I think $20-ish US.
There's a lot of Audible.
It is on Audible. Yeah.
Is it on the library app?
Oh, I love Libby.
that's a good
I
question.
think it
I'm gonna
is.
look for it.
I think it is.
It's
I'm
probably
pretty
on a
sure.
long wait. I have a feeling.
If it's
But
selling like hotcakes.
yeah.
Well, the audio books are also on waitlist. Like they only have so many IDs. Is that how it works?
Oh.
No, I'm asking.
That's for
Yeah,
Libby.
that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like currently we here's what sucks. Allie and I are both doing our books on audiobooks in Libby, and two of our books are on like a 28-week wait list, and we are literally like,
Wow.
I told you to do it after I went and got on the wait list, so you're
So
gonna
my dad has Audible, luckily, and he like piles up and doesn't get anything, so I've just been getting them off there. But you have to wait.
I have to wait.
Well, you can listen to a free sample of the Dungeon Crawler Carl cinematic immersive audiobook on the Sound Booth app.
No, that's the second one. Look up Dungeon Crawler Carl.
But the regular audiobooks are still fantastic, I must say. So it's what is it called?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah, that's it.
Tome 1.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, that's like not even. Not,
It doesn't have an audiobook option.
Oh,
There's no audiobook on Libby.
what? Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, we better tell your audience that it's not on Libby. I actually this kind of
Yeah.
no, I know, but like I also want to say that I think that this makes sense because now I think I might be recalling that Audible might have exclusive rights to this.
It is on Audible.
Audible. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you missed it, Cherry. The best thing happened to me.
Ghostbusters?
No. This girl had a cat with her.
Oh, I took a picture.
Oh, good. I took a picture. I saw the cat, right? And I thought it was a fake one. But then she was walking by and I was like, I love your cat. And she was like, do you want to say hi? And I was like, oh, of course I want to say hi. So then I go and I'm petting him. And she's like, do you want to hold him? So it's not a great picture because I'm sneaky taking it. His name was George. I love it, Josh. So funny. Anyways.
George.
Well, we could talk about how not this Saturday, but next Saturday we're doing a Twilight marathon. Because Jerry's never seen the movies. Apart from Twilight. We're doing it? Yes! Oh my God!
Have you seen the movies?
Yes, we did it.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I just saw them all for the first time because we did them on the podcast. Twilight. We're doing a Twilight marathon next weekend. So we gotta get all the food and everything figured out. That's why I wanted to make it such a vlog. That makes sense now. Okay, now I'm invested and I will start planning a little bit. I mean, I was already going to, but.
But for the movies, I've only seen the first one. I've never seen like the rest of them.
Okay. When we watched it at my apartment, was that your first time watching it?
No, that was my second.
Okay.
The first time was like years ago.
Okay. Yeah, because my first night in my place, Cherry was with me and we watched Twilight on my floor. Alright, well, I'm excited. We'll be sure to post pictures and stuff about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Fun.
Hello. Do you have a favorite book or movie?
My favorite movie is a Minecraft movie.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, my daughter loves that movie.
Okay, so we are a podcast where we read books and then watch movies and then we compare the two. Or we read books that have been...
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So do you have a favorite adaptation?
My favorite adaptation?
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's we're doing that in a couple weeks.
We're doing that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rendition between Chuck Palahniuk, which I thought was a fantastic author until I started reading like the rest of his portfolio, or I should say the rest of the books.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, Fight Club was probably his like opus.
Did you ever read Lullaby though?
I did.
I love that book.
Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a reflection of individual personalities.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I didn't know that Fight Club was a book.
Oh, yeah.
Likes fighting, likes doing stuff.
Yeah.
See Fight Club, Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Any young man who considers himself a true man has a man crush on Brad Pitt.
Absolutely.
So I had my Brad Pitt crush.
Yeah.
And then I find Fight Club, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I find out it's a book, so immediately I go to the book.
Right.
Yep.
Read the book. I was like, wow, this was...
The book is...
okay.
You didn't think
It was okay. Well,
That's hilarious.
It's often inverse, right? So these darlings here,
Yeah.
whom today is their birthday,
Oh, happy birthday!
they're twins.
That's awesome.
Fun. What a
I get-
fun way to celebrate.
They get, Harry Potter,
Yes.
and then they read the books, or
Yeah.
at least the first one, and it's completely different.
Yeah.
Or like series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And then they read the books, and it always falls towards the books.
Yep. Yep.
The compass always leans in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Fight Club, for me, I was expecting it.
Yeah.
I sought the book with that expectation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, there was going to be so many more details. There was going to
Yeah.
be so much that was
And
left
it's
out.
really just...
And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, because the book still had, like, some fantastic illustrations and scenes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I go down that wormhole, and, Chuck Palahniuk himself admits, David Finch did a much better job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
David Finch is a great director. So.
So what about you?
Uh,
Favorite adaptation?
You think we'd people have asked us this like 4 times already.
I
You
know.
think we would
I also
have,
feel like our answer always
it changes every time.
because there's been so many that have been well done.
Okay, I really liked, we're going more TV show, and when first starting this podcast, I'm still like very hesitant on spooky. And so, but Bri loves spooky, and she's like, every October we're doing Stephen King. And I'm like, okay. And so we started it, and then one of her friends suggested
The Outsider.
The Outsider. And so, oh my gosh, I ate it up. I loved it so much.
That was great too.
Yeah.
There's, in that series, as far as like the cinematic universe,
Yeah.
you can illustrate with greater detail.
Yeah.
And with a little bit more of like the hidden elements that the book implies.
Yes.
So that's actually really great.
That was,
Yeah,
that's a top for me.
I'm gonna go Stephen King too, and what was the one that I was surprised by? The Body?
I don't know, the one with the kids on the train?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Body, which is Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah, Stand
Right?
By Me.
So that one. I hadn't read the book. I'd seen the movie so many times, and then I went and I read it, and I was like, I actually liked the book better than the movie. I liked it a lot. I was like, wow. And what's crazy is it was basically the same story.
It was.
It's just that there were different details in it that I was like, ooh, I love this. So, yeah.
Details? Do you mean like artistic liberties?
No. One of my favorite things to say on our podcast is there's a lot of internal monologue and things like that happen that's harder for films to show or portray unless they're going to have someone narrating it. And so it was things like that where the kids would be like doing something a certain way because of how they were thinking or because of certain things that had happened to them in their life that you just can't show in a movie. So
So it's done well.
And it's,
Yeah.
It's coincidental, or I would say incidental, that you mentioned that with Stephen King specifically.
Yeah.
Because his characters individually have so much depth. And explain.
Yeah.
That you could, with reader's liberty,
Yeah.
deduce, oh, that person acted this way in the story because of their upbringing.
Exactly.
And it
Yeah.
makes sense. You know, he puts a lot of his stuff in the East Coast and like New Hampshire, Concord area.
Yeah.
And those people are like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read It.
Yes, I
and
have.
seen like the 2 iterations of
Yeah.
It.
Yep.
Like those translations of those characters in that book, or at least in the movie, of how they express themselves cinematically, you get to see New England people.
Yeah.
And you get to read about New England people. And the one thing that's fantastic, or at least that I felt was great about New England, the characters from the New England towns, that they all flee New England.
Yeah.
And that's in reality.
Oh, yeah.
The next time you
Yeah.
meet somebody who's from New England, ask them, why'd you leave?
Well,
And here's
awesome.
another question. Can I bounce one off of you?
Yes.
Which book or which film rendition are you excited about?
Ooh.
Let's see. I know.
Well,
What are we
I haven't
doing?
even read that book, so I can't really say that one.
Which one?
I was going to say The Life of Chuck,
Oh.
because it's a Stephen King one.
Okay. Oh yeah,
but
I
it's
just
not-
saw the
Yeah.
previews.
Yeah, it looks really good. I want to see that one, but that's not a book that I've read. So now I'm like, oh. So it's one that has been optioned and will be made at some point. It's just not sure like when it's gonna be. My boyfriend's got me into this Dungeon Crawler Carl book series, and basically it's set in Washington, and it's these aliens who basically take over the world, and how they do it is they turn the world into a dungeon, and so you start with like 100,000 people, and the way to survive is you have to get to the next level, and like each level they kill half of the people on it, so you're like racing to get to the next level, and it's basically D&D in a story, but it's done in such a way that it's actually very entertaining and very well done.
Stephen King book?
No, no, it's Matt Dinniman.
Oh, this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this is going to be made into a movie?
TV show.
A TV show?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about you?
Well, not a big, surprisingly, reader. Like I'll read once.
Thank you.
She schedules them.
Yeah. She's like, what are we reading next, Bri?
That basically is it. So, but I mean, from what you have scheduled, what's coming up that I think I'm gonna really
Fight Club.
like? Fight Club.
Fight Club?
Fight Club's coming up, so I am excited about that one, and I feel like there's another
There
one.
was one that you were like, ooh, I'm excited to do that. What was it?
I don't know. Well, we just spoke to someone about I Am Legend today, and that one's coming up, and so those ones I'm excited about. Like I'm not excited because I love the book. I'm excited just to actually, it's because I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I am, fingers crossed, hoping that East of Eden gets made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
That would be cool.
Jennifer Lawrence, from what I gather, and again, I've not a lot of research on my side. Jennifer Lawrence read East of Eden
Yeah.
and was like, I want to make this movie.
Oh,
And she's
wow.
Like, I want to be Kate. I don't know if you're familiar with the storyline.
I have heard of the book, but I
Beautiful.
haven't. Yeah.
John Steinbeck considers it his magnum opus.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Okay.
A line attributed that he said. He's like, I wrote all of my other books were practice for that book.
Wow.
So it was great.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I love Jennifer Lawrence, so that would be.
Yeah,
would
I
be
think she
good.
would play a good Kate.
Yeah.
Read the book. That's definitely one of those books where, as a teenager or a young adult or somebody who's in like mid-adulthood before they go into like full maturity,
Yeah.
that in my belief, that's definitely one of those books that you should be reading. That you can be like, okay, I'm a civilized, functioning adult with a propensity for the world outside of myself.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool.
All right. Well, that's cool.
There's so much alliteration in that book, so much allegory.
I love it.
It's loosely can be compared to the biblical story of Cain and Abel.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
amazing. There's so much depth in that book.
Okay.
There's so much more.
Well, okay, so if we're going books that aren't even like gonna be made,
Or not sure yet.
yeah, well, no, this one, like, no one signed on for it, and I love this book. I read it years ago, and I'm reading it right now because it's a full series, and I haven't read the second or the third book. It's called Scythe, and essentially this book is set in a world where humans have found a way to cure all diseases and all ailments, so we just live forever. But because of population and the fact that, population's going to continue to grow, they hire people who are called scythes, who are essentially the people who go and glean people, which is kill people.
Oh my gosh.
And so they like go through and they're like, all right, let me pick who's gonna be. And this scythe is training these two kids to bring them up as scythes. But his goal with them is because the scythes have turned into like, there's just two bad seeds in the bunch who are like just going and killing anyone and everyone.
Oh.
And he's like, I see where we are going as scythes in the future, and I don't want that. So I'm going to find the two people who are like, I don't even want to glean people. Why are you trying to train me? And show them the importance of this job so that they can take down the system. And oh my God, I forgot how good it was. I'm rereading it for the second time. And this time, like, I read it as a teenager, and so it was a different meaning to me then than now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, it's just so good. And it's a young adult series, too. So it's kind of crazy because the theme doesn't seem like it's young adult, like what teenager wants to read about death. But it's really good. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell them to read Scythe.
I will. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Yes,
Sounds
yes,
like that movie.
exactly.
It
Yeah.
also sounds like there's a whole series of books that are written about the Roman emperors, and it's put in the setting of like the narrator is like a scribe to the emperor, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
From what you've explained, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, cool.
Where does it go? All right, what is the two more questions from me?
Okay.
First one, what book, or let's see, do you have an author who maybe is one of your favorites, who you would hope that one of their books, maybe your favorite, gets made into a film?
Oh.
Well, I've recently started really liking John Green, and so most of his books
all
are
of his
movies
books are
already.
movies, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's an author that I love who hasn't been made into a movie yet.
I know.
I'm the bookworm of the two of us, and
Yes.
so like I have so many books that I love that I'm like, who?
What's the one that you, like, everyone went, every time you saw someone reading, like Seth was reading it, and
Oh
you're
my
like,
God. Pierce Brown. It's the Red Rising trilogy.
You read that, right? Red Rising?
It's a really good, I describe it as Ender's Game meets Hunger Games, and it is so good. I love it. I would want that to be made. If they would make Pierce Brown's books into movies, I would eat them up.
Funny you mentioned Ender's Game, another fantastic disappointment.
Yeah. My gosh. We did that one and we were like, why? Well, mine is I really like John Green. I am really bad with authors, directors, like names
I know, I'm
of
trying
things.
to think of someone who you like who hasn't
Done something yet. I really like. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's that kid's book.
What kid's book?
The Secret Fae, The Light of Tilly.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Dang it. What's her name? Hallie Fox. Okay, she has these books called The Secret Tally, and there's a series, and it's this girl that wakes up and she just does not remember where she is, but everybody else remembers her, and she has to, and there's like these monsters that are after like all these people, and she has to get back to this magic land to help her remember who she is, and it's this really fun story. It's a young adult, and I would love that one to be made into one.
That sounds really similar to the premise of Cloverfield.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine is Cormac McCarthy.
Okay.
Although Cormac McCarthy has a bunch of his movies made, it's extremely difficult to get the translation around.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Road was really close, but not as much. But I read that there's a prospect of Blood Meridian, Evening Redness in the West, is going to be made into a movie.
Okay.
And that is one that I don't think I'll watch because the book is so sacred.
It's been so yeah.
Because the book is so sacred.
Yeah.
I feel that. I know. There's been. Unfortunately, I'm the kind of person who kind of is like, let me see just how horribly they adapted this.
Never had anything in my house. All right, so the last question.
Yes.
Yeah.
See if I remember it. What recommendations do you have, or one, to say, hey, look, here's something. Here's a book I recommend you go read, and then movie you should go watch, or movie you should watch, and then movie after.
Let me pull up our episodes so I can see what we've done. Because I know there's some that I'm like, oh my gosh. So if you got one while I'm looking.
In the meantime.
How have I forgotten that?
I know. How did you forget?
Oh my gosh, I love Holes. I was
it?
so I was in 5th grade when the movie came out. So my 5th grade teacher read it, and we did a field trip, not field trip. Like, he was like, I'm going to the movie theater this day, this time, anyone who wants to come. So the whole class showed up and took over the movie theater. It was so much fun, and I love that one. You don't?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Both.
Louis Satcher, he's droll at the beginning.
Yes.
And then he's kind of like baking the cake sucks. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh, so worth it.
Yes,
So
I agree.
all of his books are like that.
Yeah.
So you have to set the dominoes up first.
Well, what's crazy is because didn't he write the Wayside Story books?
No, he did not.
Nope. Okay, never mind.
I love the Wayside Stories.
Me too. That's why I was like.
I tried to read those for these girls.
Oh.
That requires a lot of imagination.
It
right
does.
at the beginning.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Yeah, it does.
Remember those books I tried about the school that was up instead of sideways?
Oh my gosh, I love
had
those
difficulty.
books.
It wasn't until like the 4th book that I was like, oh, the school goes up.
I get it.
I was like, whoa, I gotta restart. I got it. I'm gonna use Zanzibar. Do you have any input? No?
I think so. For a series, I would say don't watch the movies first, read the books, is the Divergent series.
Oh.
Because the second and the third movie, it's like they were like, cool, everyone really liked this first one. We're going to make our own story and go with that rather than follow the source that we started with. Mm-hmm. And that frustrates me. I hate the Allegiant movie with a passion.
Yeah.
That's your recommendation.
Yes. So if you read
Divergent
it,
series and then watch the movies.
Yep. Don't watch them first, because if you, well, I guess you watch them first, so you give your opinion on that.
Did you read the series?
I did.
Mm-hmm. But so what we do is we always, if I've read it first or watched it first, she does the opposite, so we can get a take of like, this is how I see it. Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think one that actually I really surprisingly enjoyed was Bullet Train.
Oh yeah, you did really like that.
But that one definitely read first because I love puzzle pieces. Like you, throughout the whole book, he gave you
They're like sprinkling
like you
clues.
don't even realize they're clues until the end. You're like, oh my gosh, that's where that and that and that came in. And the movie didn't do it, but the movie was really fun because it was a fun comedy, like action movie. But it's like it was like an apples and oranges comparison.
Yeah.
But
It was.
feel like, oh no, I think you should watch that one first. Watch it first because it's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, because
And
if
then-
you read it first, you won't like the movie.
Yes, that's what it was.
Because
So-
I love the movie, and then I read the book, and I was like, oh, this just added to it rather than took away from it.
Yeah.
So,
but
whereas she's like, I hate this.
I was like, it's
hate
wrong.
it.
They did it wrong. But yeah.
Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you so much.
So, what are your names?
I'm Frank.
Hello.
I'm Robin.
Nice to meet you. I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
I almost didn't even introduce her.
Yes.
So, do you guys have a favorite adaptation?
I have a one that I like to hate the most.
Yes, okay. Yes, we love
I'm
those.
here for that.
It's more of a YA. It's the Artemis Fowl series.
Oh.
I don't know. The movie, absolute trash, but so much fun to watch. It's kind of in the same vein as the Aragorn.
Oh,
Yes.
the Aragorn
Yep.
series,
Yep.
where the book actually pretty good. And then they just totally destroy
Yes.
the whole
Yep.
plot
Yep.
during the movie. Like you can't make the rest because you made the first one. Too.
Right. Of course.
Don't worry. Mine that I love to hate is Allegiant from the Divergent series because how the hell do you not kill your main character like when the book did it?
You should at that point.
Yeah. And also how do you make part one the whole book? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
My one that I love to hate involves hating the book too.
Oh.
Ready Player One.
Oh, I haven't read it, but I saw it.
The book is
I'm
really
sorry.
hard.
The book tests my rule. I have a 50-page rule.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a 50-page rule. 50 pages in, if you don't get me, I'm done.
That's a good
On
rule.
Page 50, it started to get good. But every time I go back to that world and those characters,
Yeah, it gets worse.
it gets worse because the main character is such a toxic douche bro.
Oh.
And
so whiny.
he's such a whiny little punk. And
Just like a bunch of the tests
Yeah.
they have to do. The test still exists in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the literal what they do in the test is different, I think, on every single one of them.
Dang.
And it makes sense the reasons they change it because the book tests aren't as cinematic as all that.
Yeah.
But the movie tests are like not in the spirit of the story. I gotta go backwards as fast as I can. Like
it's
not.
it's dumb.
Oh, I
my
love
gosh.
that.
It's so fan.
I love that.
And you just keep coming back to the idea that it's hard to
Wait,
watch it.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to watch it when you hate the main character.
Oh, yeah.
Every time,
Yes.
Every time I expose to that character, it's like, oh, please shut up.
That's
Shut
me.
up, shut up.
Like
So,
anytime
like, I have some books that I love, like Wuthering Heights is one of my favorite, but
I hate every
all of
character.
those
I
characters
just
are
can't
mean.
get into it. I'm like, there's no likable character in the story.
or I loved Gone Girl. And she also hated all the. Oh, you have to read the book before you watch the movie.
Yes.
Because I can't say anymore. Because.
But
Sorry, I thought I.
no,
No, go.
We were just saying, I love The Martian. Both,
Oh yeah.
both the book and the movie.
Really? Okay.
I like the book because I like that there's so much real science involved.
Yeah.
I like the movie because if the movie was a literal page-to-screen translation, it would have been incredibly depressing before the end.
Oh, okay.
Because there's so much. I mean, no, seriously, there's so much that goes wrong in the book. It's like everything he does, there's something that goes horribly wrong.
poor
And by
guy.
and after 2 hours of watching it, like they cut out. I don't know how familiar anyone is with this.
I saw the movie. I loved the movie.
Okay.
I don't know the book though.
In the book, towards the end, when he's heading to the secondary site,
Okay.
he drives into a crater and flips the car.
Oh
Flips the car
no.
in the crater.
And he figures it out and
And
he
he
survives.
but it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Oh my
But to be
gosh.
fair, I also know that we've talked about the fact that I think there was one too many crises in the book. They could have been like, they put that character through a thing.
Yeah.
The character is put through hell.
Yeah.
And there could have been one less.
Give him
emergency.
something.
Yeah. There could have been one less.
Okay.
I will say that I actually read something the other day about fact that they changed from the book to the movie to make it more scientifically accurate.
Oh.
The book starts on Soul 6.
Yes, it does.
It starts on Soul 6. On day 6, everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
And in the movie, everything goes to shit at day 12.
Oh.
Okay.
Because in order for him to be an effective potato farmer, he needed more poop from the rest of the astronauts. So they changed that fact in the book to
how interesting.
To the movie so that he would have more fertilizer to work with when he was doing his...
And then they changed Venkat to Vincent because that makes a million more sense.
I mean, I did not say that everything...
Not everything makes sense that we change, okay?
Not every change was for accuracy. Some changes were because, a white guy wrote it. But,
Exactly.
But that's why I'm confused because Andy Weir, as far as I'm aware, is a white guy.
Yeah.
And he did good in writing the book. Venkat.
Hi.
And then they just decided we don't actually care. So the character is going to be Vincent because it's easier to say.
I don't know.
I mean,
I hate it.
I would love to sit down with the author and the movie maker one day. That would be great.
Yeah,
That would be really
amazing,
cool.
right?
That would be cool.
I can recommend a TV show adaptation.
Yeah.
Dark Matter on Apple TV.
Oh, I've only heard good things about
I
that.
know, me too.
The book is,
Really?
oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And-
okay.
It's really tightly told, and it's one of those things like if you're just looking for something that you can kind of like read by the pool, no big deal. Maybe not the right thing because you
Yeah.
do everything
Have to,
matters.
like, yeah.
So it's like this thing connects to this thing. We have it
Okay.
here, and then this thing
Yep.
related to that.
This sounds like your kind of book.
I know, I love
Actually.
those.
So good.
Be sober when you read
Okay.
this is not a book to read
Damn it!
drunk or high or tripping on anything because the stuff that happens from the
my
middle to
gosh.
the end of this book
I was just gonna say,
is
I read it high. It was beautiful.
I think that's the only way to read that book. It as a franchise has left me terrified of clowns.
Yeah,
I am a grown ass man. I am scared of
absolutely
clowns.
true.
Oh my
I am
gosh.
a grown ass adult, and I am scared of clowns to this day. I've been scared of clowns since I was 12 years old.
Because of that.
All
I am
because of
6'4",
it.
I am nearly 300 pounds, and I am terrified of clowns.
You
I am
can
not-
take the clown, but
It doesn't matter. You just run away.
yeah, exactly. Bye.
Just gotta run
Yeah.
faster. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's awesome.
Okay, cool. We'll have to add Dark Matter to our
Yeah.
list then, because
Absolutely.
my parents watched the show and they were like, "Bree, this is your kind of show," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
If it's your kind of
Yeah.
show, then it's definitely your kind of book.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Okay.
I would say that the show does more than the book did
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
because the book only shows one real perspective.
Okay.
And the show
Shows multiple.
Shows, yeah.
Which is the
Okay.
advantage of film in general.
Yeah,
You can't-
yeah.
It's the trade-off, because on the book side, you can get, like, the inner details
Yeah.
of whatever is going on the individual person.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, you can kind of even use Game of Thrones as the example of, like,
Yeah.
on film, you can follow
So many more.
24
Exactly.
people,
Yeah.
characters,
Yes.
like, what's going on.
And actually stay with them and
Yeah.
get
And
their
not
story.
be
it's so much
confused
easier to follow the
and- yeah.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
movie than it is the book
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the book requires you to take notes. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Tom Bombadil shows up, and I'm like, who is this now?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, cool. That's exciting. Okay.
We don't
Yeah.
do it all. Never.
Never, ever.
No, I can tell.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
was
This has
so
been fun.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We are going. I'm going to be listening now for your podcast.
Yay! Awesome. Yes.
Club coming up?
Yeah,
yes.
I want to hear that.
That
Yep.
one will be fun.
That's literally like our first episode back from our summer break. So
Yeah. So in
August.
summer break or
Yeah.
August,
It comes in
we break in
August.
July and then August we'll pick back
Yeah.
up. So yes, awesome.
Make sure not to talk about it.
Exactly. I know. How are we going to do a podcast on it?
I know.
Interested in finding out.
Yes, exactly.
That one thing happened? Yeah, but
we can't talk about it. Awesome.
This has been great.
Yes,
thank you guys so much.
you.
This was really fun. Thank you.
so much.
I've seen one Stephen King movie.
Oh,
yeah. Because I started with Christine. It was awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
It was not. It
No?
was wrong.
Really?
It was just wrong.
Okay. Stephen King, I feel like we've noticed his endings are always different in the movies, and it's kind of like, okay.
Right. You're like, what is this?
Yeah. Why? Why do you do that?
When my sons were young, and the rule in our house was, you read a book and you want to talk about it, give it to me and I'll read it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back to you in a day or two. So we all, like I had 4 boys, we all read Aragon. And we all went to the movie. Starring Sandra.
Yes. Yes. I've heard. Yes.
That's not what happened.
Yep.
His college.
That's
Exactly. So yeah.
So generally a disappointment. They
Yeah.
gotten better at Stephen King movies.
I think so. Yes. What was it? I just did. My co-host is out wandering right now. We just did The Outsiders. The Outsiders. So it's a TV show. So they had more time to make it right, and they still messed it up, but it was better than some of his movies that we've seen. So, but yeah.
What else? What have you read?
I don't know, there's so many. It's
I know.
like having trouble like
I know.
Rolodexing in my head like what.
That's what. Yeah. People have been like, "What's your favorite?" I'm like, you think we would know?
The first one I think they did okay with was the Harry Potter ones.
Yes.
Yeah, those were good.
Those are pretty true.
They were good. They just left out stuff, but they stuck to the story.
Yeah.
So yes.
But in order to not leave out stuff, I mean, I get that.
Yes, it would have to be
like
hours and hours. Yes. Yep, for sure.
And the Hunger Games was decent too.
Oh yeah, they did very good with that one. And then I'm trying to think. I feel like there was another one. We've noticed that a lot of the like John Green books have been really on point. They've been doing good with that. And,
Like Cider House.
yeah, and then Fault in Our Stars was a really good one. And so yeah, but
Long ago, they did well with the Dan Brown books.
okay.
Like,
Yeah. The toning, I know. It's not Angels and Demons. What's the other one?
Oh,
well, yeah, one of them.
the
But what's the
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code.
Yep. Very cool. Yeah. We just did Good Omens is a TV show, and we just in a book, and we just did that. They did really good with that one too. That was a really good show, and the book was like almost equally as funny. Like they did such a good job with that one.
Because I saw the book,
Yeah.
like in the library, or and I thought about reading it, but then I was afraid.
Yeah.
That it would either ruin the book for me,
Uh-huh.
but it's worth it, huh?
It was a good one. Yeah, they did a really good job. They kept the humor in it, and it was a lot of fun. So, but yeah.
I did not like The Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, I haven't done that one yet. It's not good. Okay.
Everybody else liked it. I have like such an affinity for that book.
Oh yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
It's
you
not right.
you feel those
Yeah.
feelings for some. I understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, really, like I said, most of the time I avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
If I read the book and liked the book, I avoid it.
That I understand that.
My brain does it better.
Exactly. Yes. Well, awesome.
What are you guys on?
We just read and watched Tuck Everlasting.
Oh, yeah.
And then we actually just went to like a children's play. They did it. So we're going to compare the book, the movie, and the play. So that's next on our list. We're doing the Joy Luck Club right now, and we've done Matilda. We just did Matilda. That one was a fun one. So that one's matched pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's so.
yeah, the book follows different girls and does their story, which the movie does too. But I'm not officially done with the book yet, but so far I haven't seen how it all reconnects. Like as of right now, it's just a different person every chapter. And so I'm trying to figure out, like the movie ends up connecting at the end, and it has not yet. So I'm trying to figure out how that's going to happen. But
It was. I mean, it's not a thick book.
Yeah.
It seemed like a long book.
yeah, right.
Who are you? What's that?
I know, that's exactly where I'm at right now. I'm like, okay. But yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, of course. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Nerd Party Year 2 is basically done. I think no one else is coming down this street.
Nah, we got 15 minutes left. And
Oh, is it really that late?
it's 6. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. Freaking Washington. Bless you.
Thank you.
I love Washington weather because it is currently almost 7 o'clock and it feels like 4
5
o'clock, 5
yeah.
o'clock, something like that. And it's just so nice.
It really is.
I know.
So, that's a wrap on this year.
I'm
and
so excited.
I think this year was way better than last year.
I do too.
And we thought last year was great.
I know.
So it's insane how much better. Like, not only was it better for us, but like, there were more vendors here this year. There was so much more. Again, I didn't get a chance to go and look at everything.
I walked up and down, and there's actually a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We did better this year because you did get away at some point, and I got away at some point. So we did better at taking
that's true.
time. Like last year, we did not leave the table unless we went to the bathroom.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. So this year, we did better at walking.
Yeah.
I think next year we'll get even better at it.
I was just
because
gonna
I
say-
think we're getting more confident being here by ourselves. I am.
Allie's getting more confident being here by herself.
I did a whole interview without you.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, good job. Me, I ignore everyone. I don't even make eye contact. I'm like,
Allie's not here. Go away.
I'm one half of our podcast. You don't want to talk to me.
That's so funny. But anyways.
So what I've learned is next year I can walk around.
Oh my gosh. But I can't. But anyways.
Yeah, but this has been so fun. Again, we cannot wait for next year.
Yes. I kind of love, like, I know we enjoy it so much that we've thought about doing more, like, different ones, but I kind of like that this is our
one and only.
Like, we can, like, at least until we
have this better setup.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to be like, on their party, we love them.
Except for freaking last year. Last year we did a dry run of our booth.
Oh, yeah.
And I had asked Allie, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, do you think we need to do a dry run? And then we looked at each other and we were like, life is too crazy busy. We don't need to do it. We know what we're doing. And then we came to set up our booth this year and we were like,
we forgot that.
We should have did a dry run.
I don't remember where we put that. We got a new canopy and it's way taller. And it's like,
I know. I think we need. Whoa, that didn't sound good. But I think we need new things to hang down because those
they're getting kind of sad.
They're getting kind of sad, and I think we could get
better ones.
Yeah.
Well, next year. So this year we sponsored.
Yeah.
Which was really fun. Mm-hmm. Next year I think we're gonna take the sponsorship money and put it into the booth. And then maybe we'll sponsor again once our booth is better.
Yeah, because like I told Allie, I think it would be fun if we could get a tablecloth that's Offscript themed. And we want new shirts for ourselves because we have a new logo and we have our old logo on our shirts. And what else? There was something else we wanted. But yeah, so we're excited to make next year bigger and better.
Yes.
And hi. I think it was great. I feel like we actually got new listeners this year. Like,
I think so. We got a lot of...
Actually, we did get a lot of emails, too.
And people excited about it. Last year, people were like... I don't think last year people had ever seen a podcast at a
event like this. Yeah.
And so this year, I mean, they might not have either, but people got it.
There were also
passionate about it.
4 or 5 more podcasts here this year rather than just one other one.
Yeah. So, super fun.
Super exciting. I had a great time.
Me too. Can't wait till next year.
After we got through all of our hiccups.
Yes.
And once the event got started.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And we got the right side of the street where the sun was not hitting us.
Yeah, that was really nice. Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
Remember how we complained the other day about our 73-degree weather?
Yeah.
This was 80 today, you guys, and we were outside.
Yeah, I'm very sweaty, guys.
Yes. But we're going to start packing up, I think.
Yeah, because it's that time.
And everybody else is.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, with that, Nerd Party.
Went off script. Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Shen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast.
See you next time.